7,040 pounds as we see it here today. The classic and very popular, very well executed J-Flight 29 RKS here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, with a host of best-in-class qualities. Things like best-in-class warranty, best-in-class sales record since 2005 and counting. I mean, you know, best-in-class roof construction, slide-out support, all kinds of things go into this one, including an available best-in-class thermal package that I think everybody enjoys. Problem is, you just can't see it, but that's why we put these videos together. We're looking at this today in the modern farmhouse decor, but if this ain't quite your speed, don't worry. Jayco does have an alternative decor. I'll probably get some footage of one eventually, maybe in a different model. But, I mean, take a look at this. With that monster bay window, this thing, rear kitchens like this always feel like they have opposing sides to me, but you only have to pay and tow for and maintain one slide. They have that big, wide open, kind of spacious feeling. Those two chairs, I'm going to actually, quick housekeeping note. Normally, in the modern farmhouse decor, those recliners would look a lot more like this. This RV was built during a temporary material shortage that will be addressed eventually. But currently, Jayco has sourced these replacement chairs. Now, the thing is, it's not like they just threw any old random chair in here. They look phenomenal. And frankly, I kind of don't mind the separation, that nice kind of smoky leatherette material, that charcoal color, in conjunction with this farmhouse decor. I think it ties in very, very nicely. And had they not told me it was not the normal thing, I wouldn't have even caught it, and I do this for a living. But, guys, what I don't want to have happen, and the reason that I'm making such a deal about this, is I don't want you to make your purchase decision based solely off this video, which people do with high frequency, and then show up to Haylett RV on a different one of these from the one that we have in the video, and go, wait a minute, those chairs are wrong. I want you to understand that, check the pictures. The unit that we have in stock could be a little bit different. And that's true of a lot of different things. Like, I'll try to point out options as we go, just so that you understand. Like over here, we have a hide-a-bed sleeper sofa. We'll get that open in a little bit, but that's an optional piece of equipment, just to kind of clue you into what I mean, so that you have an idea what could be different. All the windows in here are open for airflow. The sun was just not being cooperative, so I had to close that off there. This table is free floating. That's one of the differences between a J-Flight that we're in and the SLX little brother. And then instead of just conventional pedestals, that's free floating. You can scoot that, float that, wherever, however you want to. This kitchen, though, I mean, we're in a rear kitchen model. We have to spend some serious time here in the kitchen because it's really the whole focal point of the trailer. I prefer, personally, rear kitchens over rear living rooms. I think a rear kitchen is best used at a destination, and when we close the slides, you will see what I mean by that. But when you're at a destination, that extra space for storage, for countertop, for prep space, there is just nothing that does it better than a big conventional rear kitchen like the one that we're in right here today. Starting up top, we see that command center kind of enclosed behind a door. It keeps away from the little fingers, or frankly, not even just like little kids or grandkids, but like a big dog could be sniffing around at those switches or at countertop level. And the last thing you want is your Doberman or your Labrador flipping on your water heater when you're not expecting it and burning up your heating element. That's not a fun day for anybody, but, you know, it's theoretically plausibly possible. I think the modern farmhouse decor that we're looking at on this model has more of an impact just because so much of it is kitchen. Remember, that skylight up top there with that sunshade, by the way, is an optional piece of equipment. But look at this, like, wrap-around backsplash. That is awesome, and some easy reach outlets. That's a funny thing about non-laminated RVs. It's much, much easier to locate outlets since you don't have, you know, a one-piece solid wall that you're kind of fighting and contending with. Plywood drawers down to the floor over here, and those are wide, buddy. That's plenty of space. This is all a sealed edge kitchen countertop, so if you splash water over here, no big deal. There are sink covers. You may have noticed those previously. I just popped them out of the way real quick. Over here, space for a wastebasket, space for big pots and pans, space for your Palmolive or, you know, Dawn, whatever you're using. We are looking at the optional, new option actually, 12-volt compressor refrigerator over here. And one of the things I like about this, it's not only that it's bigger, it cools faster, it is extremely traveling friendly because there's no state guidelines, there's no propane running. You know, you can run it in transit if you need to, but it's a larger capacity. And especially in a rear kitchen like this, which is probably more popular among campsite cooks and chefs, this refrigerator makes the most sense to me in this model. Now, an 8 cubic foot two-way fridge is standard, and if you don't like what you see here, double check our website. We might have something else in stock. Just because this is how you see it doesn't mean it's the only way that we carry it here at Haylett RV. All the cabinetry's pocket screwed. Not sure if I mentioned that. I want to make sure I did point that out real quick. All hardwood cabinet doors. Then we got ourselves that big window over here. Now, the flood of light is kind of messing with the camera. One of the things about that window is that it is so large. It's like having a rear living room RV, except you know, your window actually looks at your campsite instead of the neighbors. That's something that I've always loved about it. We can outfit these, and at Haylett RV we typically do with the larger 15,000 BTU air conditioner up top. And that plus the optional J-Flight thermal package makes this thing really adept at some good extended season camping, whether it's middle of the summer or, you know, end of the season, early season kind of stuff. Some great extended season capability right here. So that nice tri-fold sleeper sofa we're looking at, optional piece of equipment. Normally there'd be just a jackknife sofa there, which does have some storage below it, but this sofa actually still does under the headboard area, and you see a little kick of storage above. The entertainment center over here, Jayco's still one of the few brands including a DVD function in their entertainment center. That is another one of those SLX versus full J-Flight variances. There are a variety of those. Hopefully one of these days I can get around to making some like SLX versus J-Flight difference in kind of a comparison video. Is that something you guys would like to see? Do you think that that would be useful? Let me know. Now right here, you see I got the chair sitting right there, and you see how we can easily walk right through here. Now some folks are going to say, why do they have heat vents in the floor? We're going to talk more about their thermal package outside. That's another SLX versus full flight variance. But heat vents in the floor are vastly more effective at actually heating the RV. Now this is not like an Arctic camper or anything like that, but it is something that does have a really good extended season potential. So they build it accordingly. The door right there, notice how it does have an actual lock on it, which is very handy. Don't know if you've ever been walked in on when you're in your camper bathroom, but it's not the most comfortable experience. Foot flush porcelain stool with plenty of legroom, of course. And then as we get in here, you see, now here's an interesting thing. The bathroom here, we're still in that farmhouse decor. It will change a little bit when we get into the main bedroom. Now, big radius shower, and with this being a taller 6'9" trailer, you have more headroom up in there, which is something that I know I certainly appreciate. What I don't want to miss, though, if I slide in here, you can see there's a floor-to-ceiling 6'9", kind of a little bit pizza-shaped, semi-trapezoidal cabinet here. But whether it's toilet paper, extra, you know, bath linens, things like that, all kinds of good stuff here. I always want to, like, whenever I look at something, like, what would you folks change? What would you add? What would you subtract? What would you change on this RV? What do you like? What do you dislike? Now, if you tell me something you dislike, do me a favor, please tell me something you like so I get a little positivity in my day. But personally, I would put one of those Drunken Octopus coat hanger things for towels on each of these walls. Other than that, I can't really find much in this model that I'm like, that needs to change. This thing's pretty dialed in. Up here in the bedroom, neat, smart little feature. That light switch right when you walk in the door, if you went through the normal main door, that will activate all of our ceiling lights. Now, you've got lights on both sides of the bedroom. I'm standing right below one. There's another one right up there. Now, the lights above the bed you can more easily reach, but the ceiling lights, if you're a little bit more gravity-friendly, shall we say, then, you know, they can be tricky to reach. They've adjusted their closets in these J-Flights, and I love it. Everything is, like, inward focused now. It just opens it up, gives it a very nice focal point. Everything has really good angles. Down below, we've got our household USB plugs for our, you know, whether it's CPAPs or phone chargers or whatnot. And you may notice how, even up here, you've got the pleated blackout window shades. There are so many RV brands where when you leave the living room, you stop getting the nice window treatments. And they treat this one the same all the way through. Up top here, you've got our TV hookups, and when we go outside, you'll see a removable TV mount that does come with it. Now, that other sticker up there above the window, that is telling you that this RV has roof solar prep, and if you wanted to, that is where you could mount a charge controller. They've also pushed up and squished up their overhead cabinets a little bit, so it's not quite so much of a head knocker. And when they readjusted those cabinets, that sharp corner point, they got it moved away from the 60 by 80 True Queen bed, which, by the way, This is like a nearly unheard of quality within the realm of conventional campers. Almost every single, what you would call stick and tin camper, has a 60 by 72 Camp Queen, or 74-inch Camp Queen, rather. This having a 60 by 80 bed means that you don't have to have the choice of, do I get a longer bed and lose walk-around space, or do I keep walk-around space and have my feet hang off the end? This one gives you the walk-around space and your feet don't have to hang off the end. They've also recently adjusted their underbed storage setup here. Now, I've got one of the baggage doors open. That's why it's just flooding daylight through there. That's not a normal occurrence. If your baggage doors are closed, you wouldn't see that. But they added a separator wall here, so you still have a huge front pass-through compartment, but you have some separated, dedicated space up here, and I think I'd just slide some totes under that thing and call it a day. Now, if you watch a lot of our videos, you know that I like to show you the slides closed. Whether it's for travel stops or getting the RV packed up, I want you to see what you're getting into. And that is kind of the one catch-22 of the rear kitchen. It's why I call them more destination-friendly than travel-friendly. It's really hard to build a rear kitchen that has like all of the sweet countertop space that remains really highly travel accessible. Now, whether it was by intention or not, they did make this one minimally travel accessible. Now, if you just kind of get on your knees and crawl over the dinette like I'm doing right now, you can get past the countertop and you can get back here. You can open the refrigerator partially. You can get in here partially. I can get in here enough that if my life depended on it, I could make a quick bite to eat. Can I really fully access the RV? No. No, I can't. But, you know, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Now, the trick with not just J-Flights, but most Jaycos is it's never like one single major feature that kind of sets them apart. They have a host of little variances. It's kind of like, I call it drops in a bucket. But you leave that bucket outside long enough and it fills up pretty darn quick. Things like the integrated A-frame up front. This RV actually doesn't have a taller ceiling. It has a lower floor, which keeps your whole center of towing gravity down a little bit. I mean, the look of this thing's fantastic. When they went platinum skin, it just really kind of started to shine through for me, personally. 30-pound propane tanks instead of 20s. You know, you tend to find that on like a big fifth wheel like a North Point, but you don't usually find the bigger propane tanks here on an RV in this class. All of the windows are tinted. All of the windows open for airflow. Those are things you cannot say about every camper in this class. Some RVs have slide side windows, some have slide face windows that open. J-Flights have both, and they're tinted. A black tank flush over here, as well as an outside utility shower. Notice how the water and electrical stuff are separated. It's actually not a big deal if they do mingle, because think about it, if your RV's plugged in the rain, it's not a big deal, but it does make people feel better. And this one's kind of built accordingly. Now, the problem with the J-Flight thermal package is you can't see it. The only thing you can see is the underbelly enclosure, and frankly, a ton of RVs have that. This over here is a more basic J-Flight SLX, and I can option on an enclosed underbelly on that, but that's where it stops. We're talking about a full J-Flight back over here. It starts with an enclosed underbelly. Then, it adds insulation. There's a radiant barrier in the floor, and it forced air heats the underbelly. There is no other RV in this class that matches the J-Flight thermal package. Now, I can't sit here and tell you it's 0 degree rated. Biggest reason why is Jayco has never done the testing to make that promise. And I won't make false claims the manufacturer can't back up. I won't make up stuff that isn't supported by data. I hope you appreciate that. What I can tell you, though, is it is the most involved in its class. Backup camera ready. We also have the J-Smart lighting. That stands for signals, markers, and reverse travel. So those extra marker lights at the top and all associated side lights, you know, with your, like if we flip on our right-hand turn signal, all of the clearance lights all the way down this thing like a midships will flash with it. That way, other people have an idea what you're doing. Plus, there's a very bright white LED element in the taillights to be able to see behind you. It's, you know, really handy thing when you're changing lanes and someone else knows you're coming across, because who knows, maybe there's a little tiny car in your blind spot. Big power running over here, but I am going to start scooting forward a little bit because I'm basically standing out in the road to get you this shot. And I don't, you know, feel like getting squished today. I like camping, but I don't know that it's to die for. Get it? Anyway, Water heater in the bottom left over here is gas and electric. Auto ignition, fast recharge, which means gas and electric at the same time. So what you want to do there, if you're in a park, leave it on electric, and then right before you're going to take a couple showers, flip on the gas side to kind of give you that fast recharge so that, you know, the second person doesn't have to take a cold shower or whatever. The power awning on this one, I love how big it is. And since we don't have any slides or anything over here, just that monster bay window basically, it's just begging for picnic tables, chairs, all kinds of stuff. This awning, of course, has LED lighting under the base. It's also 2-finger, easy tilt awning. Beep. That's all there is to it. And it stays there. Now, if we roll the awning up as it is, with the awning on a very aggressive pitch tilt, it don't hurt nothing. It will sort itself right out. The next time you open it back up, it will open up flat with both arms extended straight. It's kind of cool that way. It's what my wife calls her husband proof. Anyway, optional, stable steps over here, taking the wiggle jiggle out of the RV as you walk in and out, and those beautiful looking aluminum wheels, and the Jayco emblazoned Easy Lube hubcaps. I've yet to see somebody who says, oh man, I hate that RV because it has the aluminum wheels. Something else this has, which is a best-in-class quality, are Goodyear Endurance radials. They're rated for 87 mile an hour, not quite time travel capable, great Scott, according to Doc Brown, but still rated for more speed than you should be towing this big beauty. Man, I love that window. Sorry, I see something shiny sometimes. Outside TV hookups over here, it would plug into there. We've got power outlets down below, and when you're done with it, or if you don't plan on using it, that's all there is to it. But it mounts on this key block system here, and it ain't going anywhere. It is nice and sturdy and secure. That big wide entry door, very easy. If you are cooking outside, you know, you got your food platters and all that stuff, nice and wide so you don't have to try to tilt stuff through or slide it through and risk dropping anything. The extra large handle for kind of an easy come and go experience. And you know something else I don't talk about very much is the key-alike system on this. So your entry door, your deadbolt, this baggage door over here, they all share one single key. So you don't have to walk around like me with all of these different keys. You can walk around with one key. Big pass-through. And it even sneaks under the bed a little bit here. There's kind of a separated inside-outside storage a little bit thing going on, but holy cow. Whether it's, you know, folding picnic tables, zero gravity chairs, all kinds of stuff, you can really pack that one up for some travel experience. Now, I think we pretty much got her covered at ground level. Let's hop up top, which is not the same as hop on pop. Now, our QC guy is inside checking things like the awning. Obviously, it's doing its job. He's already been up here. You might see a couple of our footprints as I move around, but you won't see them when you take the RV home because, well, we clean RVs inside and out, upside down, and in between before they leave with our clients. And we do that at no additional charge. We don't do hidden fees at Haylett RV. So the roof here, we're walking on plywood, which is unbelievably uncommon. I am not aware of anyone else in this class with a plywood roof deck. Then again, that probably goes hand in hand with the fact that I'm not aware of anyone else in this class with the level of weight rating like 42 to 4,800 pounds that you find on a J-Flight. We carry a lot of different RVs. Now, you wouldn't realize that by looking around right now because we've blown out everything as soon as it lands lately here, and then some. Like everything you're seeing over here is like either a trade, a recent arrival, coming in or going out, and they are just moving fast. But the point that I'm making here is that J-Flights are uncommon with their plywood roof construction. They also have a much heavier header beam above the slide out to make sure that over time the roof doesn't buckle above the slide out from lack of structure. There's just extra things they do that go into that industry and class leading 2+3 year RV warranty. Makes a big difference. So if you appreciate info like that, give us a call here at Haylett RV. Oh, by the way, yeah, you probably noticed, but I walked past it. Roof solar prep standard on these now. Very handy feature. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone. So this is Miss Stacy Stewart, one of her design team. She's the lady that puts the interior decors together at Jayco through their entire lineup. And a lot of people don't know she has her own theme song. It's starting to get some radio play. She's really blowing up. It's really weird. It really kind of crosses genres. It's like Stacy Stewart, comfort and style. Stacy Stewart, ooh, ooh, ooh. and then it breaks down into some pretty hard rap. Like, it's a little weird.